आता आपण पाहतोय केपलर्स लॉज. केपलर्स फर्स्ट लॉज. The orbit of a planet is an ellipse and sun is present at one of the foci. परत एकदा व्यवस्थितपणे लक्षात घ्या. Planet moves around the sun and relates with this law states that the orbit of a planet is an ellipse and sun is present at one of the foci. This is the first Kepler's first law. Kepler's second law that relates with areas. Kepler's second law states that the line joining the sun and the planet, the line joining the sun and the planet sweeps equal areas in equal intervals of time. परत एकदा लक्षात घ्या. The line joining the sun and the planet sweeps equal areas in equal intervals of time. And Kepler's third law states that the square of the period of revolution of the planet around the sun, the square of the period of the revolution of the planet around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of mean of the distances between the sun and the planet. परत एकदा लक्षात घ्या. Kepler's third law states that the square of the period of the revolution of a planet around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of the mean distances between the sun and the planet. If we consider that is t is the time for revolution, then r is the distances between planet and sun, then t square is directly proportional to r cube, or t square upon r cube is equal to constant. त्यानंतर या चॅप्टरमध्ये अनेक मुद्दे आहेत, ज्यामध्ये एस्केप व्हेलॉसिटी आहे, त्यानंतर ॲक्सिलरेशन ड्यू टू द ग्रॅव्हिटी जी हा पॉईंट आहे, द फॅक्टर्स रिलेटेड विथ धिस आहे, आणि त्यानंतर या चॅप्टरमधला एक अतिशय महत्त्वाचा शेवटचा जो परीक्षेच्या दृष्टीनं अतिशय महत्त्वाचा प्रश्न आहे तो म्हणजे मास अँड द वेट. सामान्यपणे आपल्याला जर कोणी वजन विचारलं, आपलं वजन वेट, तर आपण आपलं मास सांगत असतो. सायंटिफिकली जे आहे तर या सर्व गोष्टी ज्या आहेत तर त्या चुकीच्या असतात. तर आता आपण या दोन ज्या आहेत तर सायंटिफिक कन्सेप्ट ज्या आहेत तर त्या विचारात घेतोय. मास अँड वेट. मास इज द क्वांटिटी ऑफ मॅटर विच आर प्रेझेंट इन इट. इफ वी कन्सिडर दिस इज द ऑब्जेक्ट and this object, that is the solid object, means how much quantity of matter which are present in this is the mass of this object. But if we consider the weight of this object, then weight that is defined, this is a gravitational force which exerts on that object. This is one kind of the force, gravitational force that pulls towards the earth, that is the center of the earth. This is the weight of the object. Means here second point as a difference, the SI unit of mass is the kilogram, kg, and the SI unit of that is the weight is the Newton, because force, the unit of force is the Newton. And third point, the important point, that is mass does not, that is the changes place to place. Mass does not changes place to place, because here on the earth surface or if we consider that is on the moon, the mass always remains the same. But here the gravitational force of planets or different planets, that is the changes, means weight changes place to place. Then next point, the difference point is important. Mass never becomes a zero. Each and every object which have, that is the matter, that is made of that is solid, liquid or gas, and therefore mass never becomes a zero, but weight maybe becomes zero if the gravitational force acts on this, or the acceleration due to the gravity on this, if that becomes a zero, then weight becomes a zero. Another important point of a difference, mass is the scalar quantity that does not needs the direction, but weight is the vector quantity because that needs the direction or the force of direction. Thank you. Second chapter, that is periodic classification of elements, from that is the science part first. We know that in previous standard, the known elements which are present, that is they exist, that is 118. Mainly these elements are classified into three groups: metals, non-metals and metalloids. We know that metals which is hard, metals generally solid, metals are malleable, ductile, metals are good conductor of electricity and heat. Non-metals does not show this property. And the third group, that is the metalloids, those elements which shows the intermediate characteristics or property in between, that is the metals and non-metals, or both of them, that is known as metalloids. Therefore number of elements, if that is increases, then that is there is a difficulty to study these elements properly. Therefore scientists give efforts to classify them, or that is the in a proper ways. This is the chapter, that is periodic classification of elements. Therefore firstly we studied, that is the some terms relates with this chapter, important chapter, that is classify these elements, that is arranged in a horizontal rows or in a vertical columns, and they makes there, that is the blocks, and here these elements, that is give the position in that blocks. Therefore firstly we studied the important definitions, that is period. Horizontal rows which are present in a periodic table, that is known as a periods. The vertical columns which are present in a periodic table, that is known as a groups. अतिशय महत्त्वाचे या दोन डेफिनेशन आहेत, परत एकदा व्यवस्थित लक्षात घ्या. Horizontal rows which are present in a periodic table, that is known as a period, and vertical columns which are present in a periodic table, that is known as a group. We know that each and every atom, which consists mainly three particles, proton, neutron and electron, on the basis of these, the each and every elements or atoms which have a important, that is the terms atomic number and atomic mass number. What is atomic mass number? Atomic mass number is the sum of the protons and neutrons which are present in the nucleus of that atom. परत एकदा लक्षात घ्या, atomic mass number is the sum of the protons and neutrons which are present in the nucleus of that atom. And what is the atomic number? Atomic number is the number of proton or number of electron if that atom, that is the neutral. If that atom is the neutral, then that atomic number is also related with the number of electrons also. Then next two important definitions, that is atomic radius. We know that the atomic structure, there is a nucleus, then different, that is orbits around this. If we consider the atomic radius, means this is the distance between the center of the nucleus and the outermost orbit. If we consider that this is nucleus and this is the outermost orbit, then what is atomic radius? Atomic radius is the center of the nucleus and the outermost orbit. The distance between these two factors, that is known as the atomic radius. And the important definition relate with this chapter, that is valency. We know that is combining capacity of an elements or number of electrons which are present in outermost orbit, or number of electrons which are taken or given in a chemical reaction, that is known as a valency. परत एकदा valency ची definition लक्षात घ्या. The combining capacity of an element or the number of electrons which are present in outermost orbit, or number of electrons which are given or taken in a chemical reaction, that is known as valency.